I hate the term postpartum depression. It's not fair. It's literally not fair. I know someone is going to argue with me and, tell me that I don't have the degree, but I just don't think it's fair to mothers. So I'm in my car because I'm a mother of two and I have really great things to say and I never have space to do it. I can't really speak for other countries, but I can speak for my country, and I live in the United States. And I feel like postpartum depression has been on the rise since before I can remember. I just feel like it's always been a thing. And it's an unfortunate thing, and I think more women than not have experienced some sort of diagnosis or like some sort of self-diagnosis of this. I don't know if postpartum depression is the best label for what is happening. Of course, I'm not a medical doctor, and I feel like you always have to do this disclaimer because there's going to be someone out there who, says I don't have the degree to back up what I'm saying and I'm, ruining the world. But aside from, not being a medical doctor or whatever, I do have common sense and I do have a pretty good understanding of human behavior, and that does go along with my education. So I can speak to that. And then, of course, as someone who has had two children and a miscarriage and has experienced postpartum things, I think I can speak from at least my personal experience. So a mother who has just given birth is going to naturally have a decrease in several hormones that were active in pregnancy. That is naturally going to result in a variety of emotions that are experienced just because it comes with the territory of hormones. And I think our society does mothers a disservice because we naturally label emotions as negative and positive, bad and good. So when a mother who has just given birth is experiencing these, different ranges of emotions that are, subsequent to the changes in hormones, we start to label those as negative. So like if a mother is experiencing irritability, frustration, rage, happiness, sadness, she's experiencing all of these things, we start to label them as negative. And then we want to start to find diagnoses that are related to this when it's just a natural progression of going from pregnant to not pregnant. I'm focusing on like the first couple of months because I think anything that happens in those months are kind of like fair game. It's unfair to start to put labels on someone when they have just given birth because it takes a long time for things to go back to normal. How can we give someone a diagnosis when we know that they're probably going to change several times in between when they have given birth until the child's first birthday? And we haven't even considered the biggest problem that comes along with giving birth, which is sleep deprivation. Mothers who have just given birth naturally are not going to get sleep because newborns don't sleep. People who don't get sleep aren't the best. They're not doing the best, right? That's natural. We already know that. So then when we pair that sleep deprivation with the hormones that are changing, it's natural to be experiencing a variety of, emotional things. And to create a diagnosis like postpartum depression when there are so many variables going on is just unfair. People in America are very individualistic. We have a very individualized society. This is not how we naturally were. This is not how our ancestors were designed to be. And so we are seeing an increase in loneliness and isolation in motherhood, which absolutely contributes to negative emotions like sadness and ultimately depression. I don't really think that it's a diagnosis that women deserve immediately in postpartum, and also even within the first couple of years of the child's life because of the other variables that we really don't address. There's research that proves that loneliness alone can take off years of someone's life. It can actually cause death. I hate the term postpartum depression. It's not fair. It's literally not fair. I know someone is going to argue with me and, tell me that I don't have the degree, but I just don't think it's fair to mothers to give them that label because they think that there's something wrong with them. A lot of women feel like they couldn't escape the dreaded postpartum depression when really they need a village, they need sleep, they need patience, experience, and they need to be able to feel what they feel without putting a negative or positive on it. We can just say, hey, I feel rage today. I feel sad today. And that's totally fine to feel. You have just given birth. It's going to take you a long time to get back to some sort of baseline. One other thing that I wanted to mention is something that I came across recently with my most recent birth, and I still kind of experience it now as I'm breastfeeding my son, is something called dysphoric milk ejection reflex. Look it up. It's called D-MER. So it has to do with the dopamine drop that apparently has to occur when you're letting down your milk to feed your baby. And it stays for just a few seconds to a few minutes, and then it goes away. And it's something that is like overwhelmingly sad when you experience it, but then it does go away. And it made me think that if someone was experiencing this every time they fed their baby, they may associate this with some sort of depression without realizing that the feeling does go away after a bit of time. It would probably make it worse if the woman was already experiencing some sort of negative emotions from, the other changes in hormones, the loneliness, the sleep deprivation. I can go on and on. But it could probably contribute to feelings of overall postpartum depression, and they would know exactly why this was happening. So I just wanted to put that out there. Look it up, D-MER. It's a real thing. It happens, and I think more people should know about it. If you're someone like me who absolutely hates these types of labels, if you enjoy my content, definitely like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.